Hey everyone, welcome. So, you've probably heard all about generative AI, right? Well, if you thought that was a big deal, you're going to want to stick around. We're about to dive into what's next: Agentic AI. This is the stuff that's poised to turn AI from a cool tool into a truly autonomous partner.
Just think about that for a second. This isn't some far-off sci-fi movie. This is the real promise of agentic AI. We're talking about systems that don't just, answer you. They actually do things. They take action. They chase after goals. It's a complete shift in what we thought was possible.
Okay, so to really get our heads around just how big this revolution is, we've got to start with the basics. So what exactly is agentic AI?
All right, the one word you really need to remember here is act. You think about something like ChatGPT. It generates stuff, right? Text, images, code. Agentic AI, well, it takes that same brain, that same cognitive engine, and it hooks it up to the real world. It can see what's going on, it can reason, it can make a plan, and then, this is the key part, it can execute that plan to get something done. And this is a great way to think about it. The large language models, they're the engine, the powerhouse. Generative AI, that's like putting that engine into the body of a car. But agentic AI, that's the whole car. It connects that engine to the wheels, to the steering, to the GPS, the tools, the memory, the sensors, so it can actually drive somewhere and achieve a goal.
So, okay, that's the what. But why does any of this matter for, the real world, for business? Well, because this isn't just another tech upgrade. It's a complete change in how companies are going to work. We're seeing AI shift from being just a tool to becoming a real strategic partner.
And you can really see the difference right here. Traditional automation, it's super rigid, right? It just follows a script. If anything unexpected pops up, boom, it breaks. But Agentic AI, it's totally different. It's designed for messy, unpredictable situations. It doesn't follow a script, it pursues a goal. So it's not just about doing a task better, it's about making better decisions on the fly.
I absolutely love this quote. It just nails the scale of this jump perfectly. We're not just handing our teams a fancier calculator here. No, it's like we're hiring a super intelligent expert who can solve really complex problems with creativity and who just happens to work at the speed of light. And listen, this is not something that's happening, decades from now. Just look at this number. A recent report found that a whopping 82% of big companies expect to be using these agentic systems by 2028. That's just a few years away. The race is absolutely on. Okay, so how in the world does this actually work? Let's pop the hood for a second and take a quick look, don't worry, we'll keep it simple, at how one of these AI agents actually thinks and gets things done. So at the very heart of it all, you've got a large language model. That's the brain. But the magic happens because that brain isn't isolated. It's connected to a few crucial things. It has memory, so it can remember what it did before. It has tools, things like APIs or access to databases, so it can actually take action. And it has retrieval systems, so it can look up information it doesn't already know. And that combination, that's what takes it from just being a know-it-all to being a do-it-all.
And really, its whole process boils down to this simple little loop. First, it comes up with a plan to reach its goal. Next, it executes that plan using all those tools we just talked about. And then, and this is the really important part, it learns. It looks at the results, sees what happened, and then adapts its plan based on that new information. It's this constant cycle of plan, execute, learn that lets it handle really complex stuff. But, of course, it's not all smooth sailing. Giving an AI this much power, this much autonomy, well, that brings a whole new set of problems to the table. This isn't just about cool new tech. It's about figuring out how to handle some pretty serious risks. Which really leads us to the biggest question of all for anyone thinking about using this stuff. If an AI can just go off and do things on its own, how do we ever make sure we can trust it? How do we build the guardrails to keep it safe? Because the threats here they're a whole new breed. This isn't your standard cybersecurity stuff. I mean, just look at some of these things from the OWASP top 10 for agentic AI. You've got memory poisoning, where someone could trick an agent into learning the wrong thing, messing up all its future decisions. Or what about cascading hallucinations? Imagine one agent makes a mistake, and then another agent believes it, and another, until your whole system is running on bad information. Figuring out how to defend against this stuff, it's a huge challenge. So yeah, the challenges are real, but that's not stopping anyone. The push towards this autonomous future is definitely happening. So with that in mind, what does the road ahead actually look like? Let's zoom out a bit and see where this is all headed over the next, say, 10 years. Right now, we're basically in the co-pilot phase, what you could call assistive AI. It helps us out with routine stuff.
The next big jump, and we're already starting to see it, is proactive AI. That's where the AI starts to anticipate what we need before we even ask. But the real destination, maybe by the end of the decade, is strategic AI. We're talking about a true collaborator, an AI that can actually advise on huge, high-stakes decisions. You can see the evolution, right, from a simple assistant to a genuine partner.
And that really brings us to the final, most important point. The real endgame here isn't about replacing people. It's about amplifying us. It's about building systems that boost our own intelligence, our creativity, our ability to get things done. So maybe the big question isn't what can AI do by itself, but what incredible things can we accomplish together? Thanks so much for joining me.